All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Better late than never. Uh, I'm gonna put the link in the chat because John can't stay long, and I'd be damned if y'all want to listen to me for the next whatever makeup.
Hello and good night.
So anybody brave enough to come say hello, there's the link. You must wear clothes. No showing of any bodily parts that should not be unclothed. Oh Lord. Uh, so very interesting week in the news for eBay and Amazon for sure, and online sales in general. Uh, Two big announcements. We'll talk about the IRS delaying the $600 and what that means, and also the Informed Consumer Act. You don't want to have missed the Informed Consumer Act because so there's some parts in that one that are a little tricky. So here's your warning, folks. If talking about politics, not necessarily politics in general, but talking about the government triggers you in any sort of way, you should
Leave now.
you should leave. You should leave now and tell them, thanks, Spirit. I'll see you next week. If you're that fragile, it's not a R versus D or anything conversation. It's just how the government works. I told you guys a few months ago that I'd only speak governmental things if they affected this business, and today is one of those days. So, hey Todd, the link's up there if you want to come in and say hello. So everybody's focused on the $600 reporting thing, and I truly believe that number is too low. They only had the IRS only had 18 months to figure out what that number was when they got 600 passed, and everybody started going, whoa, 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 that's too damn low. Say your sibling needs to borrow $1,000 and they live across the country. So you want to send it to them via Zelle, via Venmo, via PayPal, via whatever. That they were required to report you for $600 because they don't know where that money came from. They can't say it wasn't. So you would have to justify that from a 1099. So that number is way too low. Is 20,000 too high? I don't know that 20,000 is too high. Remember, 20,000. Break it down. That's like $400 a week in sales. Is that number too high? Maybe it's 10,000. But for the government's sake and the Informed Consumer Act, a high volume seller. So I'm going to congratulate each and every one of you for, if you're a high volume seller, that means you sell 200 transactions a year and $5,000. So if you sell 4 transactions a week and manage to squeak out $96, congratulations, you are now a high volume seller. Pat yourself on the back. Start 2023 with a positive mental outlook because you are now a high volume seller.
Post Lag's comment.
The
first intelligent thing I've ever seen him say.
That one there?
Yeah. Right now, you guys can all laugh at me, but Amazon is getting away from being a selling platform. They are going into being a 3PL for major players in the retail market space. They are working on logistics more than they are working on their selling platform. What Lag says is that you can buy storage from. They are getting into warehousing, massive inventory stocking that has trickled into a sales platform system. This is not going to be small seller friendly in the future.
So the reporting, I'm just going to close out the reporting. The $600 reporting, I have mixed feelings about it. I like the fact that it's a little lower because, and I don't like it. And I don't like it. I'll tell you why I like it. The one reason I like it is it levels the playing field with some of these folks. They don't know how to price. You got new people coming in all the time. They don't know how to price. They don't know how to ship. They don't know how to do anything. I saw in a group the other day, somebody asked, do you take the sticker off of an item before you photograph it for eBay?
No.
Yeah, that was you just want to go, what the heck? I mean, how did you ever figure out how to get an eBay account? So that person's never going to report, say they make $2,000, they're never going to report that on their taxes. There's so many people who go, I didn't make the $20,000. Man, this is not income. I have to report everything. I go over that number pretty easy. So, especially John probably smashes it by like January 3rd. But so I have to pay taxes on every dollar I sell. Damn.
I got more paper. I can't get 10 cents out of the company in cash.
So I mean, what do you do? It's 30. That's an extra 30 cents on the dollar I have to pay in taxes that they don't have to. So it's a distinct advantage for somebody who doesn't reach the number. But on the other hand, I look at it and go, man, the government should stay out of your business. What do you do? They already take too much money from us. You guys are, when I catch up to Todd's age, you guys are going to sit back and go, well, that crazy bearded guy told us that going to a cashless society was going to be terrible because they could track everything you ever did with a dollar, and you were going to have to justify this. And it's not an accident that the IRS is hiring 87,000 more employees. They are not
armed.
They are not coming after. Oh, we're going to go after the billionaires. Anything the government ever tells you, it's the exact opposite. And
they ain't coming after me.
Once you realize that, just think about all the acts, all the Stop Inflation acts where we're going to spend. So I watched an interesting video last night. Here's a great example. So the Great Depression. What caused I forget the guy's name. He's got crazy hair. He's a black economist. He's a smart man. And they asked him, what caused and what caused the Great Depression. And so he started talking about the stock market. The stock market crashed. A couple months after the stock market crashed, I think unemployment got to like 8%. And as the market started correcting itself, and the free market started, unemployment got down to like 6% 3 or 4 months later. And then the president stepped in and said, you know what, we need to fix this, and we need to. And 2 months later, the inflation rate is over 10%. Not the inflation rate, but the unemployment rate is over 10%. And we spent the rest of the 30s trying to fix it with government intervention. The unemployment rate never drops below 10%. And the only thing that saves this country from the Great Depression is not the New Deal. All that is a horse shit. If you go back and look at it, all that government spending did not. We had small government until the crash of the market. They purposely grew this government so big. World War II saved us from the Great Depression. You take, and then, hey, Beard, how could a war save you from the it solved unemployment. You've got 12 million men that were employed by the U.S. Army and sent across seas. It's so don't think just because we're going to talk about the Informed Consumer Act. That's horseshit. This is something coming from the EU that big box retailers in the U.S. picked up to try to, they don't like the fact that you can sell something from your home as a small business and compete with them. So they wanted it where every listing that you make, they wanted your name, your address, and your email on every single listing. Every single listing. To inform the consumers. That's what we're doing. Give it. We don't care about putting you in danger. The EU requires tax ID information on every listing. Can you imagine that? If every you had on eBay or Amazon that you had to put your EIN number or your social security number on, How many of you guys out there don't have a social security, don't have an EIN number, and you use your social security number? How'd you like that information on every single listing you make?
All right, I got to run. My granddaughter's hungry. She wants breakfast.
Enjoy family time, buddy.
All right, I'll see you next
Bye,
week.
Grumpy.
Bye, Todd.
Happy New Year.
Lori said Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, Skinny.
Yeah, Skinny, Happy New Year's. We're not even gonna recognize her next year, but the Informed Consent Act does a few things. The reason why I titled the show "Answer Your Emails" on eBay. How many folks? I can look at mine now. I think I've got like 90 emails shown that I've not answered. I answer all of them, but you know the one thing this act does is it requires these platforms to give a way to communicate with a seller and a buyer. And so, you know, that's your messaging system. And, you know, a lot of times you look at the eBay messages and go, holy cow, all my eBay messages they need to separate customer from eBay messages. You get just hammered with eBay messages over and over and over. So you need a tab. Amazon already does this, folks. If you don't sell on Amazon, Amazon requires you to answer a customer within 24 hours. They keep that metric. And I think maybe that's not a bad thing for eBay to come into something where maybe it's 48 hours, but you know, requiring you to do your part to answer customers' questions, no matter what. It's just good customer service, whatever it is. It could be the craziest question. Just answer it and move on. But so, yep, you're a high volume seller and subject to having your name and address put on. If you sell over $5,000 a year and 200 transactions, 4 transactions a week, $95. So there is one positive thing about this. I mean, the federal government usurping power, you know, like they always do, taking things away from the states. You know, there was 13 or 14 states that had rules about this that were separate. And so it means all the rules are the same. Also, the same thing happened with IRS reporting. Some states, like California, require a lower threshold than the 20,000. And so, with them passing laws, nationwide laws, it at least makes it, you know, Alabama is not going to change. Alabama is not going to make you put lower, whereas a New York, you know, and Illinois, a Chicago, Illinois and California would be more aggressive. And
But let's say I'm a troll, and now I got your address, your phone number. I can just give you hell.
correct.
If I don't like you, you know, I could pick out any seller on eBay that I don't like, and there's a couple, but I'm not going to troll them. But it's going to open the floodgates on that kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely, it will. You know, that's why I say that. You know, answer your emails on eBay. Amazon already requires it. You know, don't give anyone a reason to look at it and say, you know, we need to do away with this messaging system. It just doesn't work. Especially if it's someone who is bought from you. James doesn't feel like a high volume seller. You know, the general public is just not informed. You know, you get messages from time to time. This only costs so much as in a store. Why is it so expensive? I mean, the post office doesn't work for free. How much of your time, energy, and effort are you going to waste going to look for a discontinued product? You know, it's, you know, supply. You can't. We don't teach supply and demand, or if we do, people zone out in econ. Do we even do econ anymore? Do we even teach econ anymore?
I don't know. I never had it in school anyway.
So far as that, Jack, I have a PO box, so that's mine. So the good thing is if you're a home business, the requirement if they do it is to not expose your address. So they will just do city and state. and if they required phone numbers, I would think Google, the Google phone numbers would go crazy, because that's one of the few that you can have your own Google number, and it'll ring on your phone, and so you don't have to give out your number. You can get a free Google number.
That is, you can sell partial perfume if you call it collectible. I do it all the time. Collectible licked.
Let's see. But what you've got to watch as governments, the EU is more of a socialist bloc as it's becoming. It was sold as making Europe one big economic power. It just means they can force laws on. There's a reason why the English voted to get out. Some things good come out of that. The EU is forcing. They come out and said, all these cell phones with all these different connectors. There's the mini, there's the micro USB, Lightning, USB-C. Everybody should use the same one. Make it easier on the consumer. We shouldn't all have 100. Corporate greed is it's amazing. So Apple sits up here high and mighty a few years back and says, every house has the little adapters. We don't feel we need to put the power adapter in the phone box anymore. All these things are going to end up in a landfill, and we're going to do our best to help with e-waste. But yet this is the same company that makes a fortune off their lightning cable and won't switch over to USB-C until they are forced to require you to have extra cables that don't work on anything else. They have gone so far as to make their MacBooks and their iPads USB-C, but not the phones. Understand how these companies sit up there and they lie to your face. They didn't want to put the brick in there because they didn't want to pay for it anymore. And then Samsung goes, well, that was a good idea. I think we should do. Well, first of all, if Samsung makes fun of them, oh, look at Apple, they're so dumb. The next year, Samsung goes, yeah, we're not putting one in there either. They're saving a lot of money. So, no, Mr. Sadie, those are two different things. The Informed Consumer Act has the 5,000 in it. The 600 is the IRS just issued a statement delaying that. So there's been no change with the 600 other than it's been delayed another year. So right now, as the law sits, according to 2023, for 2023 reporting in early 2024, the 600 stands. They have not changed that whatsoever. Yeah, there's one of the original ones. That was what they got rid of in the name of e-waste, as they still use a cable that nobody else uses. But it's absolutely tremendous that what these companies. I don't think that's how it works there. So when I went back to an iPhone, everything I had in my car, I'd already gone USB-C because I'd been on Android for a couple of years. I went back to Android with the Galaxy Note 10 or the whatever the phone is. It's laying right here somewhere. So I wholeheartedly adapt to USB-C. USB-C is much faster than the Lightning cable because one is USB 3, one is USB 2. So the speeds are much better on. The irony of iPhone sits itself up there and says we're the best camera on the market. We have the best video. Use your phone to all this video. But here's the USB 2.0 Lightning cable. Good luck getting these big video files off your phone. Well, it works faster if you use AirDrop. Buy one of our MacBooks in order to use AirDrop. It's I sound like a conspiracy theorist. I've been accused of that. I've been accused of that. It's it's crazy where we are, and in the name of, the people that were pushing this Informed Consumer Act, where they wanted all this your information on the listings and stuff, are the big box retailers, and they stood out there and said, "This is to combat theft. We've had so much theft that and it's being resold online. We need to know who's doing it." So these big box retailers, your Walmarts, your Targets, all these guys sat back there and accused every online seller of being a thief. There's no way they can have these prices. They're still they're running theft rings. That's what they said basically. And people ask, do you feel bad that you buy it from Walmart and get more money for it on Amazon? You must be out your mind. Lag, what if you live in China? Lag, if you live in China, your 4 and 5 year old children would be digging out cobalt mines for these electric cars that are supposed to save the world. I don't know if y'all saw the video last week of the guy who got into a cobalt mine and got some real shaky looking film out, and it looks like it was recorded on something from the 30s. Of the 4 and 5 year olds that were down digging out cobalt. Good. There you go. It's nothing you're told is the truth, folks. You gotta look around it and ask why, and look a little deeper behind the what's going on. Why does eBay, lobby the IRS to change the $600 law? If it means they have to, it costs them money because they have to send out more 1099s, but that's a computer function. So it just costs them. They're sending these out on emails. How much does it truly cost them? Think about it. Everything's computerized. You put your number in through the computer, you get approved, you're on the computer. 1099s or spreadsheets and databases, and these are computers running. So it may cost them a little extra power. It doesn't cost anything else. They're making it out to be like some gigantic. I can tell you what the problem is. I told y'all this all year. When people were going to get 1099s for say $1,300, $1,500, whatever it is, I just sold a little bit on eBay. I can't believe they taxed me, and they were going to quit. eBay was going to have a lot of new sellers quit, and so I believe they were trying to protect themselves and not have a mass exit of sellers, which is why you want those kind of people selling anyway. You want to know the ones that don't answer emails and don't have a clue, and they want to know whether to take a price sticker off. Those kind of folks, do they really need to be selling? There needs to be some education. If they need to, I'm all for everybody having an opportunity, but educate yourself. Understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. Even little kids need a job, a purpose in life. I got you. But we're told that that these battery powered cars, electric cars, are going to change the world. They're going to save us from the evils of fossil fuels. Even though they're all powered by fossil fuels. Oh, beer, they do electricity. They don't do fossil fuels. Study the amount of electricity creation in the U.S. by coal.
Natural gas.
Just start Googling, and I dare you just to do a little bit of reading on an electric car, and how many miles you have to drive it before you break even on carbon neutral or whatever it is, or catch up with a gasoline powered car, because the sheer amount of energy it takes to make this battery and to dig this stuff out of the earth. Look at a cobalt mine. Look at all these pictures and understand. I don't know that we're going to be able to dig out enough stuff to make all these. Much less that I was flipping through TikTok last night, and it comes up and says, "I hope you don't have to refill your Tesla here." And it was somewhere in California. They had a big supercharger station. There must have been 20 superchargers. They were all full. There was like 30 cars in line. There's no infrastructure for this stuff, folks. But the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority here, who provides most of the power to the South. You might get it from Alabama Power. You might get it from, I think, Duke Power in North Carolina. We were there. They all buy it from the TVA. TVA on Saturday morning. TVA tried to kill me Saturday morning, or was it Saturday? One day last week, the TVA tried to kill me. Maybe it was Saturday morning. At 6:15 a.m., I wake up, can't breathe. I've got a CPAP mask on, and at 6 a.m., they announced that they were going to do rolling blackouts 30 minutes at a time. And within 15 minutes, they had cut the power to my house as me and my lovely wife both tried to sleep with CPAP mask on. We're both going, you got something over your face now, and you can't breathe. So I wake up, take the mask off, wakes the dogs up, they go nuts. So I'm sitting up, there's no power in the house. It comes back on in 30 minutes. Our alarm, evidently the battery's drained. And so I have to get up and go deal with the alarm. The dogs are crazy again. 3 hours later, same thing. They cut it again. Before they finally come back and said, oh, our bad. We don't need to do this. How much did I pay Hans to be a guest? Man, he's got the sexiest hands in the business. What are you talking about? And then the other day on his show, we actually saw the younger version of his hands. They kind of went in there.
Yeah, my boy waved.
Yeah, Martha. And Martha says that there's dealerships are going to fight EV because of all the changes in text. Remember, so for those of you who don't know the car business, I spent 3 glorious months as a car salesman. I was awful. I could tell you everything about a car, but the selling part, I'm very weak in the selling part. But it's go look at an auto dealership. Where do they make all their money? They make all their money fixing your car. So the most profitable part of the dealership is the service department. There's a reason why your service advisor wants to give you all this, wants to make sure that your car is up to date and do all this stuff and take care of this stuff. He works on commissions, folks. Lots of background noise. I think Todd's eating breakfast.
Oh, sorry. No, I was doing a little shipping. I'll quit.
So quantum reality, that's interesting. It says a scientific paper that dropped says that basically methane went way up because of the reduction in auto carbon. I got news for you folks. These same scientists that tell you that cars are, we're in the middle of climate change. I agree. We're in the middle of climate change. I just disagree on what causes it. We've had climate change since the Lord spoke this place into being. There's been climate change. Over time, it changes. It's not going to be the same. You've got weather patterns, La Nina and El Nino, that dramatically change the patterns on this earth. Explain why. I got some other theories, but explain why you can go out to the high desert and find shells and fossils of marine life. There weren't any cars back then, in case you were wondering. Like, I do pay you to be here. I pay you no mind. Ron, can you explain the Google phone? It's not a Google phone. It's just a number. I forget what it's called. I need my tech guy here. He's got one. It's basically a number they assign you, and it rings on your phone. Google phone number. That's crazy to say. Oh yeah, Harlan, you damn sure be the worst car salesman. If y'all only knew how many times you look at it and go, man, why would you buy a brand new truck? You minimum, if you could a normally loaded out XLT or Sierra, I mean, you're at $60,000. What the hell? Dave King, I agree with you. Folks, I challenge you to do some investigation on hydrogen. We're not running out of hydrogen anytime soon. We've got plenty of hydrogen. Toyota is leading, the largest car manufacturer in the world is leading the charge to hydrogen vehicles. So the problem is, everything I've seen has been California. So you get good and bad with California. Yeah, Google Voice. That's it. Trip Little, thank you. Ron, look up Google Voice. It'll have all the answers for you. Google Voice is what they call their phone number. You basically put the Google Voice app on your phone and do a little bit of setup, and it'll ring on your phone like. Quantum reality. I don't believe anything they tell us. I mean, and this is not a left or a right thing. I don't believe either one of them. They both have a reason why they want you to do something. You got to figure out what they're trying to do. You got to figure out. Yeah, it's those damn cows is what it is. The cows and all the methane and all the bad gases they put out. They're ruining my chance to get a muscle car.
Damn cows.
Yeah, babe, Keem, there are a lot of people that believe that about the contrails and all that stuff, and they've been using the climate as a weapon for years. Go look at some of the stuff that's in Alaska up there hidden away, and nobody sees, and their efforts to change the weather. And it's not just us. I've seen some of the stuff that Russia did too, trying to change that. Car prices actually are coming down, so just be patient with car prices. And another few months, whenever the repos and stuff really hit,
I just wonder how much longer these 15 to 20-year-old cars are going to be able to stay on the road, even with repairs.
Yeah, the hydrogen car. There's some of the Toyota videos, and if you listen to them about what they've done with these tanks, I don't think that's much of an issue with hydrogen and tanks, because the newer tanks are built so dang strong that I did hear about the last past security breach a couple of weeks ago. So James W., it's interesting that you say Chevette. I was somewhere last week, and I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I look over, and a car going right by me was a damn Chevette. I have not seen a Chevette in years, and old boy was rocking the Chevette.
Cool cars.
And then I was watching a car video. A guy who's kind of local. He lives in Lewisburg, which is about 45 minutes from here, Lewisburg, Tennessee. Vice Grip Garage, got a huge YouTube channel. And he was in Texas fixing a car to drive back, and the car beside him was an AMC Pacer. I was like, Jacob, that is like, for the year until they brought out the Aztec, that was voted the world's ugliest car, the AMC Pacer. Yeah, our electric grid can't handle everybody having an electric car. Just think about it. Right now, the range on these things is 300 to 400 miles max. I mean, absolute max. So if you don't have a Tesla and their superchargers, so that's another thing that's going to have to be worked out. If everybody will have an electric car, charging stations, are there just going to be Tesla charging stations versus the other ones that service everybody else? Are we going to have one standard for charging for everybody? I mean, there's so much that's got to be worked out and built out. Huntsville, Alabama is a progressive city. More engineers per capita than any other city of its size in the country. We build rockets here. there's like 11 or 12 chargers. I saw some going in at there's maybe more than that now. They were putting some superchargers in at a new shopping plaza complex here. But I don't know if they've gone online. But once they go online, it'll be more. We had 10 chargers in the whole city. 10. What you gonna do with 10 chargers? And this and our little circle of area, there's 500,000 people and 10 chargers. Mr. Sadie, my mom had a Dodge Omni. She had a back in those days. What was the Rabbit was big back in the day. They all had that same little funky shape. I learned my driving test. Our driver's ed car was a Chevy Citation. Only thing I ever remember about that car is they used to have commercials. If you didn't live back in the 80s, they used to run Citation commercials that it could drive around on 3 wheels. I'm like, they must have had a stampede of people going to buy Citations. I want the one that I just need 3 wheels. Yeah. Rivian's a nice idea, but yeah, do some reading on Rivian. They're nice trucks, but the problem with these electric trucks is they're expensive to begin with. They're more expensive. That Rivian's $100,000 truck, and you put a trailer on the back of it, you got like 130 miles. Good luck. I don't know where you're going with a trailer and 130 miles, but good luck. Patricia, the one thing about the electric cars is, for the most part, they don't need the maintenance. So you're not changing the oil. They don't have a lot of the same parts that a combustion engine car has, and so the brakes don't wear out nearly as fast because the brakes are regenerative. So the one thing, if you've never driven one, when you take your foot off the accelerator pedal or whatever they call it in an electric car, the engines start stopping themselves. So a lot of the work of stopping is done, so the brakes don't wear out as much. The issues they do have is, people running over things and puncturing batteries. They have, I don't know if everybody saw the guy who put out the video that his Elon Musk stranded me on Christmas Eve. His Tesla was at a supercharger. It was like 9 degrees and it wasn't charged. Current lithium batteries don't like cold weather. They don't like hot weather either. So you got to be careful about that.
You can drive between 40 and 80 degrees.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody. I'm like, it would be fine if you didn't go anywhere. If it was a second car and it was one that you use for around town, and you would never have to get gas, and you could plug it up at home, and once, twice a week. But
people in our town use golf carts for that.
I don't know if y'all remember, but it was only a couple months ago that I woke up and Laughlin, Nevada decided, you know what, today's the day I go home. That was almost 1,800 miles one way, 24 and a half hours. Yeah, good luck with that in an electric car. Drive. Good luck with that in an electric car. That's a 3 day.
How long does it take to charge one of them suckers?
Depends on what they are. And each vehicle has different charging rates, and then each charger, if you find an older charger, they charge slower than the newer ones. The Tesla superchargers, they call them superchargers. They charge at like 400 watts or volts or whatever. But there are a lot of newer ones now that do 800. Tesla's still stuck at 400. But Tesla seem to charge faster than average. And the thing about electric cars is it's just like your phone. So if you go somewhere and your phone is dead, you sit there, like this new iPhone here charges pretty decent. If you've got the right cable, if you throw it on a charge for 20 minutes, it'll take it from, 10%, to 50, 60, 70%, and you're good. Your phone will work. It's that last 20%. It's getting from 80 to 100. It is so difficult to take so much more power to top off a battery. So it depends on a lot of as these cars plot out your range and where you need to stop on these trips. a lot of times it'll only take you to 81, 83% charge to get you to the next one. So you'll stop a little more often because it's faster than waiting on the last 20%.
I suppose the convenience store people are going to like that because what are you going to do? Sit there and look at your phone for 30 minutes while your car's charging some?
Well, they've done one smart thing is a lot of them, the gas stations and stuff are smart, and on the highways are put them to the side like at a Love's truck stop would have 3 or 4 chargers. At least that gives you the opportunity to get out, stretch your legs, use the restroom, grab something to eat, grab some snack.
Get some beaver nuggets.
Yeah, or at I don't know that I was just at the new one. I didn't, but it was at night. I didn't notice if they had any chargers. I don't think they did. But somewhere like that would be smart to put some in the back. EV America, I think, is one of the bigger brands of the independent charger. Because you spend 30 minutes in Buc-ee's and not think twice about it. It's fascinating when you look at the wall of drinks, and there's 25, different drinks. There's 5 or 6 coffees over there. You get lost in the bathroom that's got hundreds of stalls, and it's like sparkling clean.
But I can just see it. People going in and taking a shower at a service station because what else you going to do? You're spending half your life at one.
Yeah, Martha, there's a guy on YouTube that does everything EVs. I forget his name is out of something. And so he has a couple EVs. And so he took them to the chargers and was trying to see how they would do in Colorado's where he lives. And the one thing about these, the batteries don't charge at cold weather. So the Rivian as he was driving to the charging station, there's a setting that you can tell it'll start warming the battery up, so it'll take the charge better. Conditioning the battery, conditioning it for charge, I think is what he called it. But a lot of them, when he plug in one of the cars, without doing the condition on the Rivian, it showed that it was charging at such a low rate because the rest of the electricity he was getting from the station was going to heat the batteries up so that they could be ready. And then you could see over time the charging rate increased, but it was significant how. This guy's crazy. He was like 3:00 in the morning and it's snowing and he's at Chargers making YouTube videos. And this, you're correct. A diesel does not. There's a lot of jokes you see them on TikTok. Somebody saying, "Oh, I plugged in my vehicle. I'm doing my part for the environment." It's some big ass truck that's got a diesel. You gotta have a heater on the diesel to get the glow plugs, but they'll light up enough to start that engine. Yep. Diesels hate really, really cold weather.
We had to plug in the school buses every night. I mean, every time you got home from afternoon bus run with the kids.
Damn, Lag said something that I agree with. Electric car is for a daily commute. It's 100%. But the problem is they're so damn expensive. We realize, Lag, you sell millions of dollars and you're a super all-star, but not everybody can afford to have their $70,000 Model Y as the run around town car. I need to go on a 7-hour trip. Oh, well, what are we going to do? The Tesla won't make it. I need to go visit grandma. Okay, so here's a great scenario for you. I need to go visit family because heaven forbid, someone's, they gone to hospice or, I want to see them one last time. I need to hurry. You're in a hurry somewhere. Yeah. Good luck. Electric trucks are a good idea, though. They just, the problem is once you start adding extra weight to them and start making them pull stuff, they've got great torque and it's a great idea, but they don't have enough power. The batteries, we're not there with battery technology. Brenda, it's time to move. What the hell is minus 35?
That's right. Jeez.
but it's an interesting time. Is the one thing I implore you, if you've skipped through everything now, I implore you right now to heed the warning. Make a plan for 2023. Sit down, take an hour, envision where you want 2023 to be. Write it to paper, put something down. What do you need? Whatever your goals are, make a couple milestones, start making some steps to get you there. Don't get to the end of 2023 and be dissatisfied with where you were because you didn't do what you needed to do and didn't plan out what you needed to do. Because I can promise you one thing: as fast as 2022 ended, we'll be sitting here in 2023 very, very quickly. It'll seem like a blink of an eye. I don't know where 2022 went. What a fast year. Holy crap. Todd, as I get older, do you do they go even faster?
Yeah, they do.
But look at the time. You've been all over the world. I know your time has flown by this year.
We only went to the Bahamas and to Italy.
Only the Bahamas and Italy.
And Miami Beach. That was a foreign country.
Yeah, Martha. Good luck trying to drive long distance in an electric car on a diet. Every stop you're snacking. Every couple of hours you're snacking. That's
It is a foreign country. Ireland is wonderful.
So what the UPS are going to use them? I don't know how they're going. Thrifting thrifting Tennessee, that might be all right for that might be a good use for an electric vehicle. Is it's local. They just bought a bunch of Mercedes Metras for my area. If they were smart, I mean, I'm never going to tell you that the government and the postal service is smart because my house is bigger than my post office. Understand that. I watched them through the month of December as they sorted Amazon shipments in the parking lot because you couldn't get it in the building. If you went to my post office between it opens at 8:30. So if you went between 8:30 and 11 a.m., there are no parking places. All the delivery drivers are in there, all the packages are in there, and they've got the back part of the lot covered up with Amazon. You have to wait till after lunch in order to actually park. I can't tell you how many times in December, if you're a police officer, turn off. I had to park in the handicap. It's the only spot. You pull into the lot, and it's a dead end lot. It's only got like 20 spots, and you get in there, and there's only one spot. The handicap spot. That's it. And so I'm going to trust these folks to, if they were smart enough to build a post office that was built in with the chargers. And so if you could trust the government to do it right, that would be a nice thing. You plug them in the morning, at night. In the morning, you get there, you fill the truck up and go. And when you come back for the evening, because they're not going to drive 400 miles in a day on these rural routes. And then you plug them up. That would probably be a good use for something like the Postal Service. The electric Chevy is $35,000. Yeah, I don't trust Chevrolet. I never owned a Chevrolet. Hop on an electric plane. Yeah. Hey, live on the internet. I will drive to Philadelphia myself. If you can find an electric F-150 for $40,000, I will kiss your bare ass on YouTube Live. Yeah, so Harlan, I've watched a couple videos. I'm gonna do that this year. Harlan truly really believes in a vision board. It is a good thing. Where you want to be, put a picture of it, look at it every day, and put notes around it. Um, Steve Rankin has a video on. He uses vision boards as well, and he's made a couple videos about it. But do some. The thought that has gone through my mind over the last month or so. If you want 2023 to be different, if you want to change things, you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to radically change what you do and be able to be uncomfortable, because thinking that you're going to be comfortable and do the same things and get different results, I think that's the definition of insanity, I think.
I must be insane then. Yep. But I have the luxury of not having to change. But that's just me.
Yeah, that's another one. You're right. That Ford is really. There are state laws and different laws they're going to have to get around with dealers and contracts and stuff. But I think there's going to be a time when you buy cars directly from the manufacturer. 100%. I think you're right. I think that's coming. This thing has really showed us what car dealers have really showed their true stripes. They will gouge you. Stab you in the back. Do whatever. We always say, oh, the used car dealer is the shyster. They are the worst human being. They're slime. It's when you give somebody that kind of, it's any car dealer, any dealer. There are still dealerships out there right now that won't even are still charging over MSRP as the inventory comes back, and they've got inventory sitting on the lots. It's absolutely Miami is a foreign country. Mr. Sadie, you're showing your age with the electric slide. Hey, Alan, thanks for coffee, buddy. I appreciate the super chat. We know you're warm down there in Florida. Yeah, Amazon, I saw they had the Rebeam cargo vans. Mr. Sadie, they don't allow you to park in there because I have a mental handicap. You have to have a physical handicap. Dealing with the demons in my head and all that stuff doesn't count as a handicap, unfortunately. We're here at the USPS, supposed to get an EV delivery vehicle, but the government changed their mind and went another direction. Interesting. Yeah, Tesla is one of the ones that Stockton, you have to buy. But there's some states that they've really struggled in, and there's some states that are still continuing. If look at some of the issues they've had, like I think Massachusetts is one of the ones that with right to repair and other things, it's not been and they've had to put dealerships in certain states in order to get around the laws. So they're, even though you're buying from the manufacturer, they actually do have some dealerships there. Even though they own the dealership, they've had to put physical locations in some states to get to satisfy the state laws in order to be able to sell the vehicle in the state. Dealing with demons and wing night, does that count? I want y'all to know Tracy missed his second wing night in a row. I told him that he was going to be banned from our prestigious Tuesday night wing night if he didn't take it seriously enough. He was out of town this week, and last week he had some weak ass excuse. His wife tested positive for COVID. That doesn't matter. This is wing night. He could have sat there in one of them suits and then unzipped at 8 remember, if you're in a restaurant, you don't have to wear a mask because COVID knows you're in a restaurant, so it doesn't. Restaurants are like COVID-free zones. Remember, you don't have to. So Tracy could have been exposed and wore a mask all the way over there, and then once he sat down in the restaurant, me and Harlan would have been off limits. COVID would have known we were eating. Oh Lord,
Harlan. Pile of crap. Hi, Harlan.
What's going on?
Nothing that the good
Oh,
Lord
it's
can't
cold in
help
here.
fix.
Got my jacket on inside.
so do your CVS pharmacies still have cashiers? Yes, they do. Several of our CVS pharmacies don't even have the self checkouts yet. So,
The heat is out
oh no kidding.
on my wing. Got my coat on.
But you ain't got to wait very long. It's going to be 54 today.
I know.
We have made it. We have made it through Snowmageddon. For those of you, if you want to see what the South takes a bad rap for snow, I don't even want to. There needs to be a new name. What we got the other day was not snow flurries. We need to call it ice flurries or something, because it snowed and the flurries. I may have got an eighth of an inch. I mean, maybe a quarter inch build up in the yard. The problem is that it comes out. The temperatures are in the roads. It's like it's ice, and we live in. You don't think of Huntsville, Alabama, or Alabama as having mountains, but the tail end of the Appalachians come through right here at the very end, and so Highway 431, the major one, is one right out here. It runs across over the mountain. Dusty used to live right off of 431. So you have to go up and over to get to the other side. Owens Crossroads is one of the big suburbs for Huntsville. A lot of wealthy houses out there. They had to close both downhills. Didn't you say there was a 10-car wreck on one going over the mountain? Was it Mount Sharon
Chapman.
or
I was Chapman
Chapman
Mountain.
10-car wreck on that one, which goes over the same mountain just a little farther down. So they closed the downhill. So all the people were stuck on the uphills. You saying there were some nurses that just parked their cars and walked to work 3.9 miles?
Oh yeah, they closed Governor's Drive going over the mountain. So yeah, they walked to work all the way down the mountain.
They did the California thing here that night. All the hotels filled up. People were stranded in their cars, and as they were calling in, there were so many wrecks that 911 would tell them, if there's no injuries, exchange information. We're not coming. It was an
This
absolute
was not
mess.
predicted.
No, it
This
was
was not predicted
just
at
happened.
all. It just hit all of a sudden, caught everybody off guard, and the roads were impassable just like that.
And I think we had like a 10% chance of rain. It was something that was so small.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
got
where all
ugly quick. They even had one of the big fire trucks go off into a big ditch, totaled it.
And the rednecks in Alabama quickly figured out that I'm gonna go drive my four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive on ice just means all four of them are sliding.
Buffalo, New York set a 4-year record for the most deaths in a snowstorm.
Oh, no kidding. That's terrible.
Yep.
Buffalo has not fared well this year with snow.
Buffalo, worst in 4 decades.
You know,
Worst
they had that
death toll
lake
from
of
a single
snow.
storm.
Is it Lake Erie that Buffalo is on? I believe.
Did you see
Brenda,
the pictures of Bill's Stadium? Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Brenda, don't hand me most time I agree with you. Don't hand me that shit. When it's ice on every road and it's just a slick ice and you're dealing with black ice at night, I've watched enough YouTube videos to watch all you Northerners and Midwesterners 30 and 40, 50 car pileups because it's ice. Don't tell me you're gonna go over a steep upgrade and downgrade over Governor's Drive because I'm a northerner. I'm good at snow. This ain't snow. This is ice. Completely different animal. There is no snow. It's ice patches. This is ice. This is not the same thing.
Yeah, they had that big snow, and was it 5 or 6 feet of snow in Buffalo? If I lived in Buffalo and they predicted 5 or 6 feet, I'd be on the next plane out. I'd say y'all can call me when it melts.
Yeah, put the for sale sign in the yard on the way out.
Yeah, for sale.
It's
crazy. Just crazy.
There's a reason why when you go up north and you look at their cars, that what salt has not eaten them off. There's all these little dings and dents all through them because they play bumper cars to the ice and snow. Yeah, because it doesn't matter how much this is not the ice. This is not build up of 2 inches of ice. This is not, there's some snow and ice mix. This is a fine sheet of ice that comes in at, it came down at between 3 and 6 by the time, or maybe 2 and 6. By the time 6 got here, there was a sheet of ice over every road in this area. And by noon the next day, it's gone. I'm not lying. It was gone. Harlan went to work 10 o'clock the next morning.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's so much fun to listen to the Dallas radio stations when
it's dark ice.
When they get ice.
We had colorless ice. Is that what we're supposed to call it? We had asphalt ice. Asphalt colored ice. Non-clear ice. Yes, that's what I meant. It's actually clear ice. You can't see it because of the color of the asphalt. The ice doesn't change color. But,
usually, when this stuff is predicted, they'll treat the roads with, they'll go out with that brine solution, the salt in the water, and spray the roads. And this wasn't predicted, so it was just.
Yeah, rough. So that was the other thing. Vape King said, they treat roads. There was no road treatment anywhere. I didn't hear of any fatalities. Nobody passed away from that craziness, did they?
No. Just
a bunch of banged up cars.
Mm-hmm.
Harlan gets to wing night last night and says, "I passed this on the way." I'm like, "What the hell is that?" It's a 4Runner. All you see is the ass end of a spare tire.
He went off in a deep ditch.
They said it was snow, Carol, but it was. It only accumulated in the low spots in the yard. Yeah, there's the.
That's the bottom of the vehicle there. That's yeah, he just rolled right on over.
Dang.
But we are actually on our way to today is the first day of the end of snow of the cold weather.
Yeah, we're going to be 70 degrees today.
We're going to be 54, 55. We'll be in the 60s this week.
Yeah, this next, compared to where we've been, we got 57, 63, 61, 63, 65, 68, 66, 62, 61. I'll take it.
Back where we belong.
That's going to feel like 80 compared to where we've been.
Mm-hmm.
No, 100% correct. It's.
I thought I was going to have to move to South Florida.
Well, Mike saying that, saying that Tampa was at 27.
Mm-hmm. I can deal with 27.
I got my Taylors mixed up. Sorry.
Can't deal with 3 and 5 and 7.
Man, that first night I was up because the dogs woke me up to eat. That morning at 6, the wind chill was like negative 13 or 14. It was just stupid. Is there a 30-second delay? Yes.
It's probably a lot more than that. When I was watching live a minute ago, when Scott was reading stuff, it was like 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, was it really?
Times. Yeah, it was way. You would read a comment, and it's like that's been up there a long time.
Well, some of the comments I was behind, so I was reading comments behind.
You picked 3 numbers today: 3, 5, 7. Hey, if you win, you owe me half.
That is, Brenda, that is absolutely crazy. 35 today. That's a 63% temperature increase, a 63-degree increase. That's insane. So I was watching Kevin and Idaho Hillbilly last night, and they're having flooding because of the temperature swing that went up over freezing for a couple of days, and now it's supposed to drop back down last night and snow again after everything had melted. That's crazy. Like, it's way harder to trigger me on individual politics. We can talk about the mean old government and how their effects on. It's really important to understand what they do and how it affects. You're not gonna, as individual sellers, we're not gonna be able to change it. So the one thing I implore you is to at least keep an eye on what they do, and so that you'll figure out the way that it affects you and how can you make it a positive impact or at least negative, and continue doing it. Unless you want to go to work for somebody, the unemployment rate is low, even though they can't find employees because so many people are out of the job market because we're paying them not to work. You can find a job pretty easy.
How long is the delay going to be on the $600 1099s? They said it's delayed, right? Not out of the question.
They said delayed. They would readdress. They were trying to come up with the number that was the best number, and they had not. So because it is a law and was passed, it is going to have to. Congress is going to have to actually change that law to, if the number goes from 600 to say 5,000, Congress is actually going to have to get involved because they passed the law to begin with.
Yeah, makes me think there wasn't enough research done on their policies.
No, you think? This is they brought a 4,000 page omnibus spending bill 12 hours before they had to vote on it, and you think that they knew it was in a bill? They know any idea? That's how you know the government is corrupt and has gone absolutely haywire, is when we vote on stuff that they have no idea what they're voting on. They just vote.
Wait, so since they're not doing the $600 thing, does that mean we don't have to pay taxes again? Oh my God.
That's right.
Yes.
Since they're not reporting $600, you do not have to pay taxes. Unless you sold $20,000, you don't have to pay taxes on that.
Again. That's amazing. Again. I thought they had changed. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pay a 1099 anyway on eBay. So my biggest change for the next year is going to be the increase in USPS cost.
You can guarantee that their cost. What are they going to blame it on now? Because the price of fuel has been down lately. Let's check over Gas Buddy to see where we're at now.
We're like 250 here.
Yeah, that's about where we're at. 250 something.
The lowest one here is 261.
We got 269 here in town, but I was in Waco yesterday and it was 254.
I mean, that's, don't get me wrong. From a couple of years ago, that's still $1 high, but we're not in the $4. And heaven forbid you live in California and it was over $6 when we were there. So Flip It Good, that's interesting. Said her sister's a CPA. Some companies have already changed. I mean, I would be ventured to guess that most companies they changed this the last week of the year. You know, most companies that do reporting are not going. They can't wait and go, well, it's January. Let's fix our systems to kick out 1099s by January 31st. That's not the way they work. And so it'd be very interesting. There are a lot of people. So that's what I would tell people. You better be careful. If you get if you're a person who thinks that you can get away again this year with not reporting under 20,000, and you accidentally get a 1099 from one of these platforms, and they're going to say, well, and the IRS comes out and says, well, we won't pay any attention to those. We really won't look at those. You can trust the government if you want to. That's what I'm saying. You can continue to cheat and think that you can get away with it.
Yeah, I'm really gonna miss the regional A boxes. God, I shipped so much crap in those.
First class package is going up to $7.25.
Is that right?
What?
For a
First
pound?
class package is $7.25. Is that the max?
John Jones, you're 100% correct. They shoved the Informed Consumers Act into the omnibus spending bill.
Wow, $7 for a 1 pound. Ugh.
Some of my first class stuff still sells right now for $6 something if it goes to California.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just dump a bunch of stuff in my inventory that, make a $5 profit. Well, I ain't gonna make that anymore.
So stamps are going up to 63 cents. Postcards are going up from 44 to 48.
63.
63-cent stamps. Yeah.
Damn.
An average of 7.8% increase in prices.
How much are flat rate envelopes going up?
I don't know. I'm seeing. I've got an article I'm trying to find if they go individually. Of course they don't. They just. Here's what you. Priority rates are going up by 3.6. Priority commercial rates will only be going up by 3.6, significantly below the rate of inflation.
I don't know who that is, Mr. Sadie. I've never flipping.
Okay, so here you go. So a small flat rate box. They're going. It says they're going down. The 1020. No, thank you. They've got this all backwards. Flat rate envelope $9.90.
God almighty.
Legal flat rate $10.20. Padded $10.60.
Like that is a
large flat rate box $22.45. Medium flat rate box $17.05. And small $10.40.
That's a power cord for an Xbox. Slips right in a flat rate envelope. Weighs 2 pounds. There it is. Cheapest way to send it.
Venmo was supposed to $10.99 this year, Quantum, but they're not this year because I didn't pass that thing.
Okay, so I need to make the announcement in the show. Due to the increase of postal rates, I recommend that all of you quit. So good luck with your new adventures. I hope that it finds you well and that you have a nice life. Since I'll be talking to myself from now on because I've given you permission to go find a job.
Might do more Facebook Marketplace. I don't know.
Those were the charges, Scott. That was a December article that had already passed, I believe. I do not use Cash App. I mean, I think I've got an account. I've never used it.
I haven't used it. I use Venmo.
Venmo and Zelle.
When you sell at like the flea market, most people use Venmo, but there is some people that want to use Cash App, maybe 5%. So, I mean, Venmo is the big one, but I do need to get Cash App. I already got all of them, Carol. I don't need any more.
Carol.
Yeah, Andy sent him the end all be all one, the one that suctions to a wall. Wasn't that Andy that sent that? That crazy mess. So should I give him a fun tip for and send everybody on their way today? Since I cleared out Huntsville last night. All right, does everybody want a free tip? I don't have any keys. Damn it! I have to show you. I have to show you on the app. So this is my Christmas present to y'all. I really hate that people like Lag don't get out of his basement. He probably doesn't shower either. So I want to help him smell better in the new year. I ended up with 24 of them last night, Harlan.
What? Axe?
So Axe. So Walgreens has these Axe. There's a blue one and a green one. If you can, that's what they look like right there in the basket. They are right now $5 on clearance. So there's a $5 coupon in them. So for every one you buy, open the box, grab the coupon, and use it on the next one. So the first one will be $5. And here, for our tax rate, every other one that I bought was 45 cents. The deodorant sells on Amazon for $7.70, or you can just buy it for yourself personally. But these are in all Walgreens, except for Huntsville, Alabama, because I went to every one of them last night.
Boo, boo.
So you stand there in the store and you take the coupon out of every one of those?
One of the managers got mad at me, so I ended up buying 4, and then just so I have, because you can only redeem 4 at a time, because the register, that's all they'll allow. So I kept 4. I've got 4. I bought 4, and so each store that I would go to, I would just do them 4 at a time. I'd buy 4, go out in the parking lot, open them, and go back in and buy 4 more. Or if some stores didn't have them, look all over the stores. So they started off in the perfume makeup area with all the other gift sets. I've seen them in the middle aisle on one of the facings, and I've seen them in the vertical middle aisle with all the clearance stuff. So
the coupon is inside the box, right?
The coupon is in the box. So you buy the first one for $5 on clearance, and then everyone else you can use a coupon for. After that, it's 45 cents.
It's a box, Carol, of Axe, and it has body wash and deodorant. Is that right?
Yeah.
She was asking what it was. There you go.
There's a green one and a blue one.
So you can get 4 of each color?
Yeah. The coupon, it doesn't matter, green or blue. It's the same coupon.
Oh.
But it's an antiperspirant and then a body spray. So there you go. That's my gift. I want all of you to all you filthy animal resellers to smell good in the new year. So there you
go. I don't want to smell like Axe, but there you go.
Oh, it's a body spray? It's not.
Yeah, I thought it was a body wash. It's a body spray.
Oh.
So the like once you open it, it's not new. Once you open the box, it's still new deodorant. It's just they package two together. Don't.
I smell like Axis.
Mm-hmm. But that's interesting though. As you start opening boxes, there were some in the front of the truck. Every time you get in the truck smells like. Because I don't wear body spray or anything. You get
I use Axe body wash.
You get ode to Scotty. You don't get any body spray. Good or bad. You go, what's that ass smell? It's probably me. Oh, what's that? Just fresh clean? It's probably still me. It's a body spray. I'm sorry, not the. There's a listing for the body spray too. I forget what it was. They're not great, but to get deodorant, go look at the price of deodorant in stores. Have y'all looked at that lately? It's doubled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can barely buy deodorant for the $5. What is it? Oh, yeah. It's probably close to skunk there, lag. Natural musk, aka skunk. Old timers get Old Spice, but yeah, that was I think Andy sent that to me. I don't know how much longer they'll be in stores, but it's making its rounds away around Instagram. So I went to all 10 stores, and I think only 4 or 5 of them had them. There were a bunch of them didn't have them. So does anybody have any questions for us? Somebody asks us a question, give us something to talk about, or I'm gonna go eat breakfast. Hey Beth, good morning.
A breeze for air and armpits.
Yeah.
Black ice and a pinch.
Yeah, if you get some black ice, you're gonna get pinched. Oh, I'm sorry. Uncolored ice. Asphalt colored ice. I don't want to be politically incorrect more than once in the same show.
Going to UC this year.
The unconference.
Oh, I thought they just had that. Well, that was a different location.
Don't they usually have it like the end of February, 1st of March?
I think so. They had one in Nashville not too long ago. I didn't know about it until it was over. Yeah, the other one's in Orlando.
I don't know what's for breakfast. I haven't. I need to call because I'm going to do my my New Year's resolution. So I have a start date is keto for quite a while. So maybe I need to call and see if Biscuit Express is open. Were they open when you drove by?
I didn't even look.
What?
I didn't even notice.
That's a man that gets his breakfast made to him and brought on a plate into his office every day, right there.
No, I do not.
That he doesn't even look at Biscuit Express. What the hell?
I gotta quit eating Biscuit Express.
Yeah. Girl comes in with a French maid outfit. Here's your biscuit.
So stocks. I live out in the country, but there is no Uber Eats, and I don't want McDonald's either.
Yeah, every year I'm going to weigh 200 pounds by the end of the year. Okay, see you next year.
If you say it in the end of this year, and you say by the end of next year, you're always right. Don't put a number on it. Just say by the end of next year.
I've been going to be below 200 for the last 8 years. So there you go. 15 years. Sorry, 15.
Yeah, so I looked at that clock. The clock was another 20 minutes behind when I got out here this morning, Harlan. The clock that got me in the post office yesterday. So I had to put a new battery in my clock. Let's see if it's keeping up.
Is that the one in your truck or the one?
No, it's the one on the wall right there.
Oh.
There's one right above the door, and that's the one because I was making videos and stuff right there on the table, and I'd look up and go, man, I got to leave right now. I can hit the post office. Yeah, it was 30 minutes behind.
Carol be like, I like chunky men, and I cannot lie.
Congratulations, then, James. I need to get back on it. It definitely works if you stay on it. Need to combine my keto with Harlan's meal prep, so it makes it easier to stay on it.
Meal prep is key.
So Harlan, show us this vision board you've got.
At work.
He's at work.
Oh, it's not working.
You can look them up on YouTube, and I mean any kind of thing that you want, like places that you want to go for the next year.
Yeah, didn't you put Vegas on yours last year to make sure to get back?
Yeah, I had a picture of the pool, stadium swim pool.
Stadium swim, yeah.
And I had goals to have a certain amount of money in certain accounts, and I just kind of had numbers written up in certain spots, and it doesn't say have this much. I mean, I know what the numbers are, so I mean I knew what all the numbers were. Pictures of fitness stuff, and just stuff that you wanted to get done, and I mean just anything like that you can put on there. And
Yeah.
I actually it's hanging up on my bedroom wall, so when you wake up in the morning or before you leave your bedroom to get ready to go to work, sit there and look at that. You can see it every day. Just a visual type thing.
Okay.
Got a vision board. My brother Drew D is fitting this whole pizza in my belly.
Lag, you're a special kind of twisted. That's awesome. So is anybody? How many of you guys are working through the end of the year or working through New Year's? Is anybody? I know a lot of resellers. Not you. I know a lot of resellers take a lot of time off this time of year, just because fourth quarter can be draining and.
Not me. I still got to get the size of this death pile down.
I don't see where it's going to go. See that there. I would guess sales will maintain or maybe a little under. I would think the percentage of people buying online is going to continue to go up because until they fix these supply chain issues, the one place people know they can find an item, how many Walmarts and grocery stores you got to go to before you go, well, damn it, I'm going to go buy it on Amazon or eBay. So I think the percentage but the one interesting thing is if you looked at toys this year, man, go look at a Walmart right where after Christmas. The Walmarts around here never ran out of toys. You could go in any of them, and their toy sections, for a lot the last 18 months have had bare sections and nothing to put behind them. Walmart's trick about when they start running out of stuff is they put coolers and buckets on shelves and make it look like there's stuff there. They didn't do any of that this year in any of the stores right here. They had, so I don't know if it's they just had more inventory than they planned, or people didn't buy as much. I know it was a flat season, but I think due to the flat season, the continued pressure on the supply chains, and if you look at China is still lockdowns with COVID and all that fun stuff. So, and with no employees to unload the ships in California, and California messing with the truckers, and there's just so many factors that are going to continue to make online sales, I think, pretty strong. Yeah, so I always do January clearance sales. Just be careful and realize that the price is not going to hold, because that group of people that are not paying taxes on the under 20,000, and they're just part-time sellers, and they're running out of something that somebody on Instagram has said, I just flipped this for $500. They're going to go find them and sell them for about 20. So, and go, look, I sold one. I found it and sold it. Look at me. I'm a reseller. Yeah, you got those people. So understand that anything you buy in January, there's a potential you need to hold for a little bit. Walmart got hurt because they did away with layaway.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie, it was rough. It's been 11 months today. But this been the, like I say, the first Thanksgiving and Christmas. Christmas was rougher than Thanksgiving.
Tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet especially for your parents too.
Yeah, it was really hard on my mom. She talked about it a lot.
Man, the time flies. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Nope. Yeah, I was laying in bed last night, and it's like, damn, tomorrow's 11 months.
Yeah, definitely pay special attention. I know you do, but the 1 year anniversary is probably going to be a really hard day.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly, lag.
Yeah, you're fortunate that your kids were both here, so they can provide some distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about this season. It reminds us of people we've lost, and don't forget to celebrate the people you've still got in your lives. And my best friend from middle school and into high school lost his mom this week, and same age as my mom. Wonderful lady. She was almost like a second mom. Spent so much time at his place and him that it was very sad. That they went to the same church we did, and it's you never know what kind. And they were supposed to have the funeral today in North Carolina, but his dad's in the hospital, so they're having to postpone it. So you just and he struggles some with his health, so you never know. So don't take any day for granted. You are not guaranteed tomorrow in this crazy world.
And you hear that all the time, and you never really think a lot about it until you lose like a brother or something. It's like that's real.
because I've heard don't let the days go by because I've heard over and over this year how thankful you were that you moved over there by him and spent the time you did the last 18 months of his life, not knowing. I mean, because you guys y'all did something like every other day. I mean, you were fortunate to have really doubled up on the time.
Yeah, it's weird because when housing prices went really high, I sold my house, I cashed out, I moved to an apartment, but I moved over closer to my brother. So we saw each other that year, for I wouldn't have seen him near that much. I mean, he would come pretty much, by my apartment complex, and there's all these places, we would eat at least twice a week, like for supper. And
Yeah, well, his favorite restaurant was right at your apartment, so that was right.
Taco Mama.
Taco Mama. I've only eaten there twice since he passed.
I think I have too.
And we would eat there so much, even the guys meeting up. I mean, it got to the point where it was like every other week we were eating.
Mm-hmm.
And then even through yard sale season, how many we ate lunch there quite a few times.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Johnny and I ate there once or twice, and that's been.
But yeah, Carol, I mean, I look back on that, and it's like, why did I sell my house? I mean, why did I move? Why did I move there? And then you look back, and it's like, that's why. That's where I was supposed to be. Now I'm back out with my parents.
Yeah, I don't think you ever get over it. You just accept the new reality and kind of move on. But now I would tell you, I lost my dad in 1987. I was 18 years old, and not a lot of times goes by. You wonder, what he would think, because my mom's still alive. All my dad's brothers. Well, one brother is now passed, but he was a hermit that lived alone. If he took care of himself, he'd still be here. But you wonder, what would he think? He never met any of my kids, my brother's kids. Jacob, Terry and I were still in high school when he passed. I was still 2 weeks away from graduating. So he never knew what happened or anything. It's you wonder how your life would be different and what kind of influence you would have had, and all the years of coming through stuff. Nobody go talk to. My mom is still around, but parents are different. You discuss different things with moms and dads, and it's very interesting.
Yeah,
definitely formative moments of how your life changes and how the effects it has on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brenda, that is it. I can't imagine. But this time of year, check it. I mean, it's a good time right now. We're after Christmas. It's a good time to check in on your friends if you hadn't heard from them. I mean, I'm 100% serious. This is a tough time for a lot of people, and you really, if there's somebody you hadn't heard from, that call can be the difference. I don't know how many you've seen some of the videos and stuff where they're just kind of making a point. Maybe it's a song, but yeah, I think there's a country song that about checking in. Somebody was about to commit suicide until they got a call or whatever. You never know the impact that you have on someone else's life. Just a simple phone call and a hello can be amazing if somebody's alone at the time of year. You just don't judge what they're doing. Don't judge what they're going through because you can't process what they're going through. Just be the friend, be someone to talk to. It's amazing how you can help someone this year just by saying hello, making a phone call, stopping by and saying hello.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. Stocks in. It is Craig Morgan. That's the video. If you haven't seen the video on that song, the video they did a good job with the video on that song. Larry, I think about Dusty damn near daily. It's amazing. The impact people have in their passing. It's been what, a year and a quarter since he's been gone. It's a year and a few months. That's absolutely amazing. Johnny posted a memory on Facebook yesterday or the day before, and something her and Tristan were doing. It was just doesn't seem like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. So Jelly Roll and Craig Morgan performing on the opera together. I think Jelly Roll's on the verge of having his first #1 country song. I think that's what I saw.
He was in Huntsville not too long ago, and he was going to be in Vegas. What though?
The Saturday after we left.
Yeah,
we left Friday, and he was there Saturday.
And it was a free concert, right? Out on
he was out on Fremont Street.
Fremont.
We should have ditched Dave and hung out.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're addicted to something, I tell people over and over, when you're addicted to something, stay and watch Jelly Roll or go do yard sales. Damn it. Damn it. Yard sales.
Yard sales 1.
Yard sales 1.
Yard sales 1. Jelly Roll 0.
That's correct. Yeah, no, Craig Morgan's had several hits. He's been around country music for a little while now. What time is it? 15 minutes. Anybody got any reselling questions? You know, this is that time of year where everything shuts down. You know, you prepare for the new year. If you don't understand shipping, it's going to bite you in the butt as prices go up now. If you haven't seen my video of the craziness that is the David Blaine shipping, you know, cut 4 cuts on a box and push it together and it transforms to the next box. That's what I should have called it, the box transformer video. That's the craziest video, and just cutting it. And whenever Joni had it sent to her from somebody and I watched it, I had to watch it a second time going, no way. There ain't no way in hell that, you know, making that box. It's so a repricer, no, it does not alert you when somebody uncuts you. The way a repricer works is it's a computer program. So you put in a set of rules. So you tell it who you want to compete against, whether it's Merchant Fulfilled, only the buy box, only FBA, only Amazon, no Amazon. You set the competition up, and then you set up the how you want it to act. You know, what's the lowest price you would accept? What's the highest price you accept? And then what to do when it gets to the highest or the lowest? What to do whenever the buy box is between. And then once you've come up with the rules that in the program, it'll run. And so, you know, say I've got an item that's $10 right now, and my max is 9, and my max is 12, my lowest is 8. And at $10, somebody comes in and takes the price of $9.50, and I've got it set to match the lowest price. It'll immediately drop it to $9.50. And then if they sell out and the lowest price is now $10.25, it will move it back to $10.25. So a repricer follows the sets of rules that you have assigned it in the repricing program, and then automatically moves it around without you doing anything else. Lag always wins the race to zero. Congratulations. You're good at something. Congratulations.
Yeah, John Jones said use your eBay shipping coupons.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So under shipping.
Well, there's your link right there.
Oh, did Harlan beat? Damn, look at you go, Harlan.
Boom.
So if you've used it, like I've used mine already. It's under marketing, subscriber discounts. It comes up and says, see details. Already redeemed. So if you think, well, maybe I use it at the first of the quarter and you're not quite sure if it was the last quarter, if you click on it, it'll tell you whether you redeemed it or not. So that's always good to check. I know I used mine because I used it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you got a few days left. I used mine, I think, a week or two ago.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad idea to go ahead and the stuff you're going to use the next quarter, go ahead and put that stuff in a cart, because every once in a while they'll run out of some items that you normally get from that.
And it's also good to really, this time of year, really, your inventory is probably never going to be lower. So if you want to do something to your inventory system, plan some time to figure out, a better way to do things. You need to take inventory of where your supplies are. You should have already, the best thing you can do is understand your accounting. If you've got extra money now and you're trying to reduce taxes, if you've got a tax professional, they can tell you the benefits of making a last end of the year purchase and what it'll do to lower your tax liability. But spend the money to consult with someone for 30 minutes. Someone who knows this stuff. Don't get an internet. Don't listen to me. Just I send you places. I can't tell you anything about the laws. Each state is different. But it's, are you ready with supplies? Do you have enough Scotty peelers? Did you wear them out? Box cutters, blades, boxes, tape. And the important thing I would tell you too, especially the floor, I actually ran out of paper tape after I've preached over and over, don't run out. But paper tape is one of those things that's very hard to find. Staples does carry it, and they had it here, so I was able to get a roll at Staples. It cost me a little bit extra money, but as long as you have a backup. But I ordered one, so I know paper tape is good. And Scott C, who's been in the chat, is coming Friday with all kinds of extra shipping supplies. He's like, "Don't you want all this stuff?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll take it." So there's no telling what he's bringing in his van through here Friday.
Oh, Scott's coming to Huntsville?
Yeah, he'll be here Friday. If you want to come, I'll let you know when Friday morning afternoon if you want to come out and hang out. He's kind of weird, but he's an all right guy.
Yeah, Beth, but then you just you get your coupon on the 1st of January, so you just hit the
at
that time.
Scott C said he said it's going to be a lot. He's probably going to feel half as many. So he's trying to make space in his storage buildings he's made a big purchase. And so he's trying to make space in there. And he's like, ask me if I'll take this or that, because he is a good person he is a wonderful box supplier that he gets a lot of odd sizes and buys in bulk, and buys a lot of stuff to his supplier. Just like, I got the last case of that. Don't you want to buy it from me at little to no price? And so Scott has a lot of stuff, and so he's trying to make some room. But he's a good example of, locally in the Chicago area, when you've got such a big area, there's got to be a box supplier that'll give you deals on that kind of stuff. I need to get better at that kind of stuff. Yeah, Mr. Sadie, open a small business account on UPS and get some for free.
Yeah, I'll come by, Scott. And Carol, that's all I wear is costumes. You're correct. Here's here I was, Christmas. I was Santa on Christmas.
Is that the one you got at a yard sale?
Yep.
I knew you weren't selling that. I'm like, Harley, we were at a yard sale. They had a Santa costume, and Harlan's like, "How much for the Santa costume?" I turned around and looked. I'm like, I know he's gonna wear that.
$10.
That's outstanding. Carol, I'm sorry. The local auction it's like it doesn't even exist. It's hammer dead right now. I didn't
it's
sell
running
shit
right
last
now.
week. Did you sell anything last week? I didn't sell shit.
I didn't sell one thing.
So they've taken a month off. The last auction was I think we dropped off on December 12th, somewhere in there. They resume on
It's running right now.
It's running right now for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We go back on the next auction ends on 1/5 and we drop off on 1/9. So but before that, the week it ended, I had my best week ever. It was absolutely outstanding. I love that auction. I love that local auction. I had my best week ever, and Harlan still kicked my ass. That's how good it was. So,
Yeah, we both did good.
yeah.
You were what? Was it 12 something?
1150,
1150,
and you were 14 and 15.
1400.
Yeah, so it's a nice way to end it for the year. Look forward to getting back at it.
That's what it's all about, Carol. Scaring the ladies.
I try to say about 3 weeks left. I'm into editing right now. A lot of editing. I say a lot. Trying to cut out the ahs.
There's not many in-person auctions here. There never has been. There's maybe one, and they just have it.
B&W. Well, there's the other guy too. There's two, B&W, and what's the other fellow we meet every now and then at a yard sale?
Do what now?
I said there's two of them, B&W, and then who's the guy we run into every now and then? He has one
Dunn's.
Yeah, Dunn's. We run into him every now and then.
Yeah, he's out in Athens. I've never been to one of his.
Yeah, so ours is online too, but they have a preview day every Monday or Friday if you're picking up. But it's online.
Yeah, I bought that Santa suit, Carol, for like $10, and it's like, yeah, I'll keep it.
Yeah, that was a real stretch. That took a lot of arm twisting for yourself to keep that.
That was a really nice. That's not your little typical cheap Santa suit. It was nice.
Did you make home visits with that one too?
No.
He wears his elf costume for that.
Elf and pimp and
Maybe that should be on your. You should have like a business vision board and a personal vision board.
There we go. Making Santa house calls throughout the year.
Yeah, my advice is just spend this time wisely. Do some reflection. Don't be afraid in 2023 to step out of your comfort zone. I'm going to do my best to do that. If you want change, you gotta enact change. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen by accident. The only change that happens is others that change things in your environment. So you be the one to make the change that change for you.
I've never heard that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm not even reading that comment.
I'm at work. I don't have it with me at work.
Lag didn't want to change. Well, change is going to happen in your life whether you want it to or not. Things are going to change, and hey, Victoria, how are you this morning? I almost said this evening. I'm like, was sleeping really that bad?
Well, the power didn't go off, so that was good, right?
No, absolutely correct. Did your heat come back on yet?
No, but it's warmed up to 70 in here now. But we don't have any heat. The way the sun is tilted right now, it hits these big windows on the side and it heats this area up. So it's 70 now.
Yeah, there are a lot of changes coming next year. I think 2023 is going to be a year that going to be very interesting. You know, there's if you just look around the world in general, all the chaos, all the go online and look at some of the protests because if you're watching mainstream media, you're living in a there's huge changes going on in Brazil, and they are still mad as hell, and millions of people out protesting an election that was stolen. You look over and they're protesting in China. They're not showing you China. The Chinese people are we're at Tiananmen Square all over again, but even more widespread. There are look at I think is it the Netherlands or one of those countries that is trying to confiscate 3,000 farms from family farms that have been in their families for generations upon generations because they don't efficiently run it like the government would want them to. So they're confiscating the land. The government, because the government's always efficient. So there are farmers all over Europe that are mad as hell. I mean, there's a lot of change in 2023 and social uprising that is going to affect everyone. So that's right. You're near Memphis. Memphis had almost the entire city was without water on a boil alert for some. I don't know what happened, but I saw that they were on a boil alert. That's crazy. So Avalon Dreaming, one thing I would tell you, if you'll learn very quickly, is with the advent and rise of gift cards and making giving so easy by saying, I don't really know what you want. Here's a gift card. The Christmas season really extends out to about first or second week of January as people spend gift cards, because remember, if you're getting a gift for Christmas, it's money you wouldn't spend on yourself. So that drives the Christmas season. And then on a gift card, people still spend like crazy because that is this money they've been given they wouldn't have had at a company or an online. So the gift giving still carries through to January as people redeem gift cards. So you should still see. People also really complain in January about returns, and they go, "Oh man, it's returnuary. We get so many returns." And you're not going to get any more returns than you normally would. You've just sold more stuff. So if you maintain the same percentage of returns in December as you do in June, but you sold twice as much in December, you'll have twice as many returns. So just be willing to accept that and understand sales do slow down, but it's because sales change. People are come out of the gift giving and focus on getting back to work and changing their lives. And so what do people buy? They buy calendars, they buy exercise equipment, and tax money starts coming in. So they buy big purchases at the end of the month, into February. So it's just understand how life works, and you would do very well in sales to help maintain sales. To register a personal vegetable garden, yeah. Trust the government. Trust them. They've got your yeah. Don't that person, that expensive person, don't think yourself into a return. Be positive that you did a good job and you did your part in the sale. And everything's gonna be fine. Worry about what you control. Spend your time worry about what you can control. You can't if it's coming back, you can't control it. You can just you sold it once, you'll sell it again. It's not a big deal. I think Lag's got like 3 or 4 families in the basement. So far, his brother lives there, he lives there, and his mom and his wife. So, so there you go, and plus any kids there. So it's a lot of people in the basement.
Compound, complex.
All right, I'm gonna go see if I got to go to the post office. I'm gonna go see if Biscuit Express is open.
Woohoo! I'm sure they are.
No, they take a lot of these extra weeks off. They take.
Oh, do they close at the end of the year?
I hope not. I need to go make a YouTube short on the best biscuit in the state of Alabama.
Biscuit Express.
Mole, man.
All right, everybody. I'll give you a roll tide.
They're open.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, y'all better buy tickets if you're going to the Super Bowl. All right. We'll see you next year. Roll tide.